Good evening. I am the narrator, and welcome to my parlor. Tonight's topic is the Greys. In a recent video, I discussed different entities and whether their appearances are symbolic. I also discussed reactions to them, how much they pertain to them and to the recipients themselves. In this video, I apply these questions to UFOnauts. I bet you were wondering when I would return to them. Note two things. First, the appearance of UFOnauts has changed over time, from human-like space brothers to consistent forms seen today. Second, they vary by location. The Greys dominate the U.S., hairy dwarves South America, the Nordics dominate Europe, especially in Britain. Let's first discuss the Greys. They're whom listeners are most familiar with. They are short and gray with large heads, spindly limbs, and large, solid black, oval-shaped eyes. They have no body hair, ears, or external genitalia. Their noses are flat nostrils. Their mouths are small and lipless. A taller variant at times seems to oversee the others. They seem emotionless and to lack individuality, like insects in a hive. Even their movements are stiff and mechanical. They seem to lack biological sexes, though some are perceived as female, though this is only, again, perceived. Mostly they are nude, but some wear robes. Their appearance frightens us. We don't know what they are, nor why they look like that. We don't know what design or evolutionary factors could have created them. The unknown frightens us simply because it is unknown. If we see a new insect in the woods, it won't frighten us. We'll simply see it as novel. Though we don't know what it is, we know the environment and can assume it is natural to the biosphere. Not so with the Greys. Note that like shadow people and BEKs, nothing of their appearance is innately negative. The color gray, shortness, large heads, thin limbs, etc. If they didn't exist, a screenwriter could devise them for a science fiction film and they wouldn't necessarily be villains. They could be protagonists. But when encountered for real, that all changes. Again, I think it's the uncanny valley. They simply don't look like us. We are taller. We aren't gray. We aren't spindly unless we're underweight. We mostly aren't bald. Our eyes don't dominate our faces. They have facial and cranial features we lack, and we have features they lack. In artwork or on screen, these differences are all right. In person, face-to-face, they again are something else. Their eyes lack pupils, irises, or sclera. They're solid black. It is said that the black is really a lens meant to protect their eyes, but this is too ETH for me. Thus, their eyes show no emotion, and, as we all know, eyes are windows to the soul. They're one way we read others, and we can't read them. Then their lack of speech. Descriptions of them speaking are few and far between. Mostly, the person is simply abducted without communication or explanation. Again, we connect to others through speech. It bridges the gap between stranger and acquaintance. Then their clone-like nature. They all look alike except the tall ones. They all dress alike except for the robed ones. By contrast, every human looks different except for identical twins. If we can't tell individuals apart, we can't connect with them. We can't tell the good ones from the bad, if they even come in good or bad, leaving us open to deception. How do we recognize those we know from complete strangers? Their alienness is conveyed through more than just their appearance. It's through their efficient movements, their operations. They seem to have a hive mind, which again is often portrayed negatively, the Borg in Star Trek. Note that conformity and trend following is endemic to humans. At our worst, we are herd animals, but they're next level. In this sense, they're more like insects than mammals. Insects differ from us in a way other mammals don't. We can't connect to them emotionally like we can cats and dogs. Their stiff movements, again, so unlike our own. We move in all kinds of ways, depending on the condition of our limbs or the task at hand, as do familiar animals. It's how we distinguish machines from living things. Machines can unnerve us simply because they're not alive. Think of the Terminator, the Trade Federation's droids. Machines are soulless, and so seem the Greys. Then there's their hairlessness. It's unlike us, for whatever it's worth. Their apparent sexlessness. Again, we have two sexes. Most animals we know do, and their anatomies are distinct. Thus, the Greys are further distanced. It follows that they don't reproduce or form relationships. How are they made? Romance is ruled out, amongst many other emotions. As I've discussed, hybrid offspring seem largely symbolic, though some, usually one of a group, are sensed as female. What does this mean regarding non-human intelligences? About things that don't reproduce, or even have biology as we understand it. Maybe gender can exist independently of living bodies. In organisms, it manifests in both mind and anatomy, but for NHI, only in anatomy. What are the robes? Do they suggest a culture? Do they have ceremonial meaning? What are those who wear them? Do they represent some rank or status? If so, what distinguishes these ranks? Best I know, the robed ones are usually in the background, again, overseeing. Thus, the robes make sense as a distinguishing feature. But there are more questions. What are these ranks? How many are there? Do individuals begin at the bottom and advance, like in the Mafia, Boy Scouts, or Freemasons? Or are they innate and unchanging? In folklore, fae have ranks and titles, as do angels and demons in esoteric lore. Or are the robes simply show conjured from thin air? Do the Greys know we assume they would have ranks and titles and play to that? Again, these are all materialist ETH considerations, and again, I doubt they are biological organisms. Matters of reproduction and developmental stages are irrelevant. More important is what their appearance represents to us, thematically and conceptually. Again, none of its aspects are inherently negative. It depends on priorities. Yes, if one values individualism. Otherwise, not necessarily. Bees in their hives are not negative, they simply are. Only from our perspective are these things negative. But if they make sense in context, they're good. Antennae are strange to us, but insects need them to navigate, and again, maybe their appearance is symbolic. There's their gray skin, always smooth and unblemished. It looks almost bioorganic, more like rubber than living tissue. Maybe this reflects technology's dominance of society, the increasing superficiality of our relationships, or maybe just the rise of non-biodegradable plastic. Their heads, so large in relation to their bodies, their trunks seem barely able to support them. Such heads could house very large brains. Very large brains would need such heads. Maybe they represent the preeminence of intellect at the expense of emotions. Their hyper-efficiency could also. Their spindly limbs, they seem underdeveloped. Maybe they represent, again, neglect of the body. Maybe it reflects how technology and creature comforts have made us soft and weak compared to our ancestors. Their size is somewhat subversive. While many humans, even adults, are short, they seem even shorter. Only children are their size and are never attributed power and control. Seeing these creatures wielding those things is different. It's, again, subversive to be controlled and dominated by such small things. Just ask Gulliver. Note that they didn't appear from nowhere, and weren't there at the dawn of ufology. They didn't become dominant until Whitley Strieber's Communion in 1988. Even then, only in North America where the book sold the most, its cover was the most iconic. Skeptics dismiss them as a figment of the popular imagination, as the mind conjuring fantasies in response to popular iconography. As always, they omit the mechanism by which it does this, beyond fantasy-prone personalities. I digress. Could the intelligences at play appear in accordance with culture? Could they follow it, nodding and taking notes? Could they create it to begin with as part of an agenda? If so, why? That's for a later video. Or could they be doing no such thing? Could they simply appear amorphous, but we don't see them as such? Do our minds translate their stimuli into a form determined by ingrained images? Folk and esoteric lore holds that we see entities as our minds are so programmed. Many have pointed out that the Greys resemble aliens from 1950s B films and comic books, little green men. Again, skeptics have seized on this. They look like them somewhat, but skeptics always highlight similarities and ignore differences. They're short and large-eyed, but never otherwise. They are gray, not green. Little green men were often drawn with yellow eyes, with pupils showing emotions. The Greys lack these. Believe it or not, I think it's worth mentioning. Their appearance seems to have developed in response to their emergence as cultural icons. Which came first? Or did both at the same time? I'm not sure, but I think the latter. I wonder if they mind their outward forms, if they have preferred some to others, if we in our culture ever frustrates them and they wish we would devise better ones. As always, if you have any experiences or insights you would like to share on my channel, feel free to email me at tparish1@new.rr.com.